Welcome back to another edition of the Gargoyles Den Diecast. I'm Gargoyle, of course. And we're back for another Super Van Sunday. This one's going to be a little bit different, though, so if you've watched quite a few of them, you might want to pay special attention to this one. You know, in this hobby, you learn stuff over time, etc. And some of the vans that I did back when I started learning this, the Restomods and restoring and stuff about a year ago when I started doing it, just aren't up to par with what I'm doing now, in my opinion. And this is one of them. So, instead of concentrating on the drilling out and everything else like we normally do, this video is going to be concentrating mostly on the paint and decals, because we've already done the drilling out and everything, so I will polish up the base better, because it can be done better. But yeah, the major focus will be on stripping the paint, maybe a little bit of body work here and there. I know I need to take and do some filing down, like right here. This is annoying the hell out of me. So I need to file that down. I need to smooth this out and make that line a little more even. It is a red line, so we'll be getting a set of red lines, but it won't be this beat up set. So I'll probably put a set of custom red lines on it, because with the van that I'm doing with this, it only came out in 1975. Problem is, the new decals that they make for them come with the word Yamaha on it. The original did not have the word Yamaha. It was just the picture of the motorcycle. Then it has a different decal for the other side. So I'm probably going to cut the Yamaha off because I don't like that anyway. So that's going to go. And since it's custom, I'm probably going to do Spectraflame purple instead of a metal purple. But anyway, the other big difference was that the base on the 1975 version was the plastic base. It didn't come in the Zamac base. So yeah, either way, this is going to be a Restomod, or a custom per se. It's not going to be a straight up restoration. So there's that. And of course, we've already gauzied the windshield and everything, so as long as I don't scratch it up, taking it apart and stuff, we don't need to do that again. So yeah, we're going to concentrate on the paint and the decals and gloss coat and putting it back together. So let's go ahead and get it apart and get this started. Until I used really long screws on this one. It's one of the great things I was saying about the Super Van, though, is it's got them huge. No, the back one isn't as long. We got a little short one in the back. They got those huge posts that you can do. So yeah, it's really easy for drilling them out. You see, I did a good job on this one, obviously. Windshield. Set it to the side so it doesn't get messed up. Wheels are coming out, obviously. That was glued a little better. So we'll have to clean that out a little bit. We'll do that when we're getting ready to polish that up. These are going in the garbage. Some people may have wanted them, but yeah, those are garbage. I did order some through-hole restoration wheels. Problem is they're $12 a pair, and I have a real hard time putting that on a van that even after I've done it, it's only going to be a $20, $25 van probably. Back where I came from, that was called being ghetto, when you'd put, $500 set of rims on a $500 car. Why would you do that? Buy a $1,000 car. Something a little nicer. But yeah, so we're not going to do that. So let's go ahead and get this off to the regurgitation juice. We'll do a time lapse of that and let you see the paint bubble up, because yeah, there's a lot of paint on this. You notice it's a rattle can paint job, obviously. You can see the lines real well on this side. If you look on this side, yeah, they're all muted and stuff. So yeah, it was quite thick on this side. It's one of the advantages to doing airbrushing over rattle cane is been a lot nicer and thinner layer of paint that'll lay down a lot better. You'll be able to see all the lines a lot better. So let's go ahead and get this strip apart, and then we'll, get it stripped down. I've already got it stripped apart. And then we'll come back and do our body work and be off to paint. Stay tuned. Okay, so here we are over here at my paint booth. Here I explain everything I'm going to do before I turn it on, because once I turn it on, yeah, I'll mute the audio because it's loud and play some background music or something while the regurgitation juice does its job. But a couple different ways you can do this as far as the body. I have several pairs of helping hands, which are really handy for doing this. Just clip them in, clip in the other end. I personally find it just as easy to use a set of these. I ordered it for $4 off Amazon, I think. And I put one of the post screws in, and I just click onto the post, and yeah, there we go. Now I can move it around whichever way I want to make sure I get the regurgitation juice all over everything. The other thing when you're doing this is safety first. Not only do we have the paint booth running to take out the fumes, but you need to have some kind of respiration mask. So be safe, wear a respiration mask. This is the other reason that I was trying to do all this and explain everything beforehand, because afterwards you're not going to be able to understand anything I say anyway. So, and then I don't normally show this, but my favorite, my regurgitation juice, is actually Jasco Premium Paint Remover. Notice it's the non-methyl methylene chloride, whatever the hell it's called. You know what I'm saying. So yeah, it's the safer stuff for the environment. It's not nearly as good as like Aviator, Stripper, or whatever. But it does a lot quicker than, say, Citrus Strip. That's what I used to use. I still have some that I use occasionally, but the Jasco is so much quicker. That's why I call it regurgitation juice. Alright, enough talk. Let's go ahead and get this done. I'm going to put on my protective equipment, turn on the thing, and I'll show you a time lapse of the regurgitation juice in progress. Alright, we're back from the regurgitation juice and the wash and wire brushing. Now we're going to do a little more wire brushing, make sure we can get into parts like this here. And the lines here. You see there's still paint stuff on them, there's still paint. A few spots that it really wanted to stick to. So let's go ahead and get that all cleaned up. Alright, it's looking good. Let's get this thing taken care of, because yeah, it just annoys the hell out of me every time I see it. Very important step before you ever paint. A lot of people skip it, and this is what ruins your paint job a lot of times at the beginning. If you have any little oils from your hands and stuff on the body, yeah, it's going to cause problems with paint. So yeah, I give it a healthy bath in IPA and let it sit for a couple minutes, get all the IPA chemicals and stuff off of it, evaporated or whatever. Alright, before we go, I want to put one more screw in here so that we can use the helping hands to hold it a little easier. A little tip for you guys. If you didn't already figure it out or don't already know, yeah, use, go ahead and put screws in your posts. That way the helping hands have something to hold on to a little better. Especially after you use the helping hands a few times and start to get all that paint gunked up on them and stuff. Yeah, this will help with that. With them still being able to hold. Alright, let's go put them on the helping hands and get the paint started. Stay tuned. Alright, so let's get the cart before the horse here. Got over to the paint booth, got it all set up on the helping hands here, and was thinking about what I was going to paint it, and I was thinking about one of these two. I've never painted either one of these colors. They're just two colors of purple I got. They were similar to the plum purple that the original van was. But I don't really need to worry about that because it's custom anyway. Because of the metal base, and we're putting the Real Rider red lines on, and so I don't really care for those two. So I decided to mix up my own custom Spectraflame color and see how it came out, and this is it. So you can see the color in that. Yeah, I really like it. So I think we're going to do Spectraflame on this. So with that being said, since I'm not doing a solid paint, we need to at least flitz this up once. Let's see if we can't get it to shine up just a little more. And while we're at it, we still got the base to flitz up too. So let's go ahead and get to flitzing. These washed up. Okay, now we are finally ready to head on over to the paint. I'm sure you can see the major difference that we've got here now with what we had before. And yeah, the base is all polished up and ready to go too. It's looking a lot better than what it did. So yeah, let's go ahead and head over to the paint booth. Okay, just like with the stripper before, anytime you use this, make sure you got good ventilation, which we're going to use the paint booth for the ventilation. Use a mask. I've got my personal protective equipment mask, 3M. And then with the Spectraflame, obviously you're not using any kind of primer or base coat. So basically it acts as its own primer in that you put a really light coat on the whole thing first. I mean, basically that purple that you see on the glass right there, that's about how the color you want it. You want it that light all over the whole thing. Let it sit for about 5-10 minutes and then come back and put a couple more light coats on, and then a final heavier coat, and you'll have a flawless finish. Let's go ahead and give that a try and see how it works out for me. Very simple. This is a dehydrator. This is not a food dehydrator, though. It is a flour dehydrator. Costs $50 on Amazon. Works great for this. The one thing I don't like about it is it's not real tall, so fitting the helping hands in doesn't work. You have to kind of lean them sideways. Or you could just set it on the actual grate, I guess, but I like to keep it up off the grate while it's getting cured. Take and set it in there. You want your temperature about 120. And then put this in there for about 20 minutes or so. And then we'll come back and do our gloss coats on it. For the gloss coats, we'll be using the 2K Clear from Poly over at Diecast Graveyard. Alright, we're back from the dehydrator. Let's go ahead and get the decals on here. And after that, we can put back in the dehydrator to make sure we have all the water dried from underneath the decals, and then we can do a final gloss when it gets done, because I still have the gloss sitting in my gun from when we coated it. So let's go ahead and get these cut out here. Using microset and microsol. Microset you do to soften the decal and helps when you're trying to position it and stuff. And then the microsol is to help it conform to irregular surfaces. So yeah, put a dose of the microset on. That's about what we're going to need. Take and smooth out your decal. Get as much of the water up underneath as possible. And this is a perfect example right here. You can see this, where it's all bunched up around the lights on both sides. That's where the microsol comes in. Once you have it in place, just take some microsol, tap this on, and let that sit. Now the part that gets everybody is that let it sit part. Because yeah, what do all of us want to do? Well, of course, we want to go do the decal that's on the other side. So you gotta be really careful not to touch the decal on this side while you're doing the other side. decals. Get all smooth out here. I like the decal on the side so much more. Fits so much better. So it wouldn't be bad if it just didn't have the yellow line in the bottom of it. I could cut that out, I guess, but it didn't because that's what I was supposed to. That part about don't touch? Yeah, don't touch. Damn, Jim. Leave it alone. Alright. Cut the saddle. Okay. Get the marker sole on the side. Alright. Then go back over to the dehydrator now. Do the dehydrator for, probably 20-30 minutes. And then I'll take it out and do the final gloss. And then we'll be back to base together and do our reveal. Stay tuned. Alright, we're back. And as you can tell, I'm not very excited about it. Sorry, but this is just not good enough. I mean, the purple came out excellent. It's beautiful. I don't know if you guys can see that. But if you look right here, you can see where I screwed up on the decal. I should have notched around the light instead of trying to just put the micro sol and set on it to try and get it to conform, because that pulled that out here, and then the tip back here, and that looks like shit. And to be honest, this front one, if you look at it, it's rounded anyway, and as everybody knows, these aren't round wheel wells, they have more of a square effect to them, so that looks like shit too. And then if you look here how it's wrapping around the back corner, and it's all the way up to the front edge, all the way up to this edge. It's because the decals are just slightly too large, which I've heard that happen with second chance redlines before, but I've never had it happen. So the way I'm going to fix this is I'm going to order another set of decals from them. But when I get it, I'm going to put it on a laminated sheet of paper or whatever. And then I can take a picture of it and print it off on my decal paper. That way I can shrink it slightly to the size. Because I like the decal itself that they made, other than the yellow lines, obviously. But since I was doing a custom on this anyway, because I have the metal base, it's not the original plastic base, I'm just going to do what I did on the other side. I cut off the Yamaha or whatever. Over here, I'm just going to cut off the yellow lines and have just the stripe with the motorcycle. Then I'll be happy. Because even if this was lined up better back here, the front one's still rounded and it's still going to look like crap on that. I'm still not going to be happy. I'm too picky. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and put it together. We're going to throw it up on the shelf. It's not even going on the rotisserie. That's how upset I am about this. Because I was really looking forward to this one. Put all that effort in, and because freaking decals just slightly too big. And just, yeah, it annoys me. It doesn't look good. It is what it is. It'll just go back into the bin like the rest of them up here. And there we are. And yeah, it's going to go right up on the shelf. Those of you who don't know the shelf I'm speaking of, that would be the Supervan shelf. This one will go right up here with all these in the bottom half. All these down here are ones that still need to be done or redone for various reasons. And then these are some of my favorites. These three I might redo. But yeah, these other ones will all stay the way they are. These are originals up here, these three. All the other ones I've redone. And then the next one that is up to get done is going to be the partner to this one, the King Radio. And it's just a black van with the 62 kGW radio livery on it. So that will be next Sunday's Supervan. So if you're interested in that one, keep an eye out for it. If you enjoyed this, by all means, hit the like button. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. And share. By all means, share with other members of the community. Until next time, that's all, folks. Bye now.